All right, everyone. How are you guys? My name is Chris. I'll be doing my presentation on the Mannerism art versus early Renaissance art, and basically, saying which one I prefer, which is Mannerism art. But, along this presentation, you start to see the differences between both of them because they're very similar, but they're very different in many ways because Mannerism has to do with, basically awkward pieces of painting and stuff like that, while early Renaissance is where it all started, where all the good paintings like the Mona Lisa, which I'll be showing you right now actually, and, artists like Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, people like that started coming abroad. All right, so let me go to the next slide. Alrighty, so this painting that you see right here is Mona Lisa by Leonardo da Vinci. And basically what early Renaissance art is known for is to, always have their art structured, symmetric, line by line. See, like let's just say for example, if you see on the top from let's just say for example, let's just pretend there's a point right here on top of Mona Lisa's head, and then it goes aligned next to her elbow. Oops, oopsies, line to her elbow and then to her other elbow and then back to her head. It forms a triangle. So you see it's very symmetric. They try to revolve their paintings around different types of shapes and try to always keep it proportional. See, like many more paintings of early Renaissance include, the Sistine Chapel by Michelangelo, which is this one. Oops, sorry. Which is this one right here, right there, where you start to see, this picture is not too good in quality, but I'm pretty sure like a lot of people do know this piece, and basically, you could see all the symmetrics, all the lines there, all the shapes, all the different bodies that you have. It's very sophisticated and very nice. See, for example, now you got the Vitruvian Man by Leonardo da Vinci, once again, which this is not a painting, but it's a drawing. But you see that if you were to put a line right here in the middle of the guy's body, you can see it's exactly alike, exactly symmetrical. That's why he has a circle. That's why you see multiple drawings nowadays where they use many circles to form the head, the body, the legs, certain different types of shapes. So that's basically what early Renaissance art was like. They tried to give it a more realistic shape. For example, the sculpture, which this guy right here, his name is David, and Michelangelo was the one that sculpted him. And you see, it's all very sophisticated. All there's not one thing off. It looks like a man like that's alive right there, lifelike body type of thing. So then we head into Mannerism art, and for me, in my opinion, I like this type of art much better because of the fact that it allows for there to be more flow, for there to be more freedom when it comes to actually painting what you want. So you don't have to worry about symmetry, you don't have to worry about proportion. You can just put some distorted human forms or awkward movements and stuff like that. So it's more artificial and basically anti-Renaissance. Around that time, it's basically, you could say, where it's a new trend that came out of nowhere, and it was hard for people to catch up on. But there's always going to be nowadays that the people that support the old-fashioned way versus the new-fashioned way. So that's basically how it was back in the day with Mannerism art and early Renaissance art, because it was early Renaissance that came first, and then Mannerism art came right after. So basically, going back to early Renaissance art, it's more realistic. It has a scientific perspective. It also focused on non-religious themes, and that's around that time. That's when um, artists like Michelangelo, Leonardo da Vinci, Picasso, that's when they started getting known because they were the first to do it. They're the first to come up with these art forms, these paintings. After that, people would try to make different paintings and make them in their own form. So they were known and they were really nice, but they just weren't as, how do I say this? They weren't as exposed as the first art forms. So Mannerism is basically known as the late Renaissance art, and it emerged from like the early 1500s type of thing in Italy. And just like I said before, their paintings are asymmetrical, and like they would call it elegant in their own manner, just because of the fact of like the people that would do these type of paintings, they went against the early Renaissance art. They want to do their own thing. They wanted to go out of the normal. They wanted to try to see if they could the same things that, let's just say, the artists did in early Renaissance art, where they, let's just say, they started doing paintings. They started doing, like, let's just say, the Mona Lisa. They were the first to think of those paintings. So that's what most of the artists and mannerisms wanted to do. So, for example, this painting that you see right here on the left, that is called the Volterra Deposition Depiction by Rosso Fiorentino. And you can see how many distorted human forms there are. There's a, like, you see one, two, three, four, like around 10, 11 people in this one picture, maybe 12 in this one picture. And you see it's not very organized. It's just all over the place. You know, it's nice. I'm not saying it's horrible. It's nice. I like it because of the fact of, you know, it's people are mourning with each other. Some people are trying to save each other. Some people are trying to push. You know, that's the cross right there. Maybe that's Jesus and stuff like that. So while early Renaissance focused on kind of like non-religious themes, you see here where Mannerism would try to throw some religion in there due to the fact of, you know, some people would depict that as being Jesus and this is cross type thing. So it's also, you know, it could be also sophisticated, but it's sophisticated in its own manner that wasn't necessarily normal for the people back in the day. And this is just a new branch of art that people were trying to hop on board and try to see if they could do something new. And even, you know, an artist like Michelangelo, where he used to be an early Renaissance art and, you know, made magnificent paintings, he tried to transition into Mannerism art at some point. So this is the Wedding at the Cana painting, and this was by Paolo Veronese. So you see how many different human forms. Like if you go back and you start comparing this to, let's just say, something like these paintings or the Mona Lisa, you see that there's many more art forms. See, I don't know if it's man, no, you can't zoom in. So let's just say right here, that's the main focus. You see, that's the brightest head. That's the only head. Maybe you see a couple looking over here, but that's the main one that's looking at us. Everybody else is fighting. Everybody else is eating. Everybody else is sitting, singing, dancing, whatever the case is. So there's a bunch of different art forms, and this piece is honestly beautiful just because of the fact of how many things it has going on. So, and it's all depicted very nicely. And you see, it's not where you split it in half. It's the same thing. No, they have different columns here, different columns here. They have a tower on the right side of the painting, and you can even see like the little birds and everything. So it's very, very nice. And then right here you have the Madonna with the long neck, painting by Parmigianino. And basically, you know, obviously you see the long neck right here, and she's holding a baby. But the main thing I want you to notice about these paintings is the fact that they have, like I said before, a bunch of distorted human movements, distorted, exaggerated poses. So instead of just like sitting down, being normal, see these people are laying down. This guy's right here on the dead, on the right. I mean, where that's the Holy Trinity painting by El Greco, and it's really known. And you see all these human forms, they're all taking their positions and they're all, you know, all nonchalant and just kind of like laying down. So it's a bunch of curves. It's not symmetric. It's out of proportion. And it's very nice to some people, but back in that day, this to them was not seen as nice due to the fact of, let's just say, it had to do, just from looking at the picture, you can see that there's some religion that has to do with the painting. And basically, in the early Renaissance, those old-fashioned people back in the day, they did not support this whatsoever. Okay, so these are more excited page. Okay, so yeah, you know, Mannerism, I personally like it a little bit more due to the fact of it allowed artists to kind of go out of their comfort zone, and it, for the people, I understand why it didn't do as good as most people anticipated around that time, because it didn't last very long. Only like not even 100, not even a century did it last. um but it allowed certain artists to go out of their comfort zone, and some artists actually did make that strive. But since it was so out of the normal, it was denied. It was not seen as being a good way of art form or anything like a piece that like people would buy and stuff. So it went out super quickly. But the people that do understand the artwork, that's, I feel like, are the people that have like a different set of mindset, like a different type of mindset. I mean, where they're able to go out of their way and be able to think what this painting actually means. For example, I mean, like, you know, all these people, all these deformed movements and poses and stuff like that. Go into detail. You can look at every single person. So some people aren't willing to do that. Some people are. So I personally like Mannerism art better. But if you want to stick to tradition, these are the main pieces. See, like, I know everybody knows the Mona Lisa. I'm tired of seeing her. So yeah. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. This was my presentation. I hope you guys ever like it. Thank you, Professor Parker, for being understanding throughout the whole course. I wish the best for you. Thank you.